what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Charles, and welcome to my review of The Greatness. The Greatness. The Greatness. The Greatness, 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 the Greatness. Say people all together one more time now. The Greatness, also known as Shokugeki no Soma. But since this is an anime review, we're going to call it by its anime name, and that is Food Wars. Okay, guys, season 4, episode 2 is in the books, and basically the difference between my reviews and other reviews is that I'm going to give you the difference between the anime and the manga within my review as well, so you guys can know the difference. So starting off, guys, this episode overall was great. The thing that the anime did that's different from the manga is that it's focusing on one story at a time, because right now we had this whole Tsukasa Kuga story going on, and the whole Saito and Mimisaka storyline going as well when it comes to who's preparing what to cook. So they focus more so on the Mimisaka side of things, and next week they're going to focus on Kuga, while in the manga it happens simultaneously at the exact same time. So with that being said, guys, if you want to read the chapters that this anime episode is based off on, I highly urge you guys to start with chapter 223 all the way through chapter 226. Now, with that being said, I would say go even farther and go to read all the way to chapter 228, but don't read chapter 229 because of the way that the anime is focusing its story, how they're breaking it into parts. Because if you read chapter 228, you will get spoiled to the Kuga side of things and what's going on between Kuga and Tsukasa. So if you don't want to get spoiled at all, I suggest you just read chapters 223 all the way through chapters 226. Don't read 227 or 228 or you will get spoiled. But if you don't mind getting spoiled a little bit on the Kuga aspect and just want to get the overall feeling of what's going to happen, then again, 223 all the way through chapter 228, but don't read 229. That will spoil you. Okay, first thing I want to say is that within this episode, the difference between the anime and the manga is that Hazan and Momo, they got a lot more talking parts than they did in the manga. In the manga, they never speak within this current arc, whether in this current chapters. They didn't have any words or anything like that. But in the anime, they gave them times to talk amongst each other. I think because Momo is a fan favorite and they wanted another excuse to show Hazan's weird facial expressions, if that makes any sense. Okay, so moving on, guys. We're talking about the first difference. Now, the anime, and this is my first little gripe about it. The anime, when Tsukasa was explaining his dish and how he was cooking, the anime really simplified everything. In the manga, during this part, when he says, come to me, when he's talking to the ingredients like he normally does, if you look right here, guys, it's way, way more detailed in the manga about the preparation of his dish and what he was doing. The anime really didn't go into that much detail. They went to slight detail, but as you can see, guys, the manga really went into detail that the anime just didn't follow for one reason or another. And I get it, time constraints, they have to hurry up and get this episode done. But at the same time, they could have focused more so on Tsukasa's preparation about, what he was doing, because they did touch on it, but they could have focused a little more so on the preparation of his dish and everything of that nature, than, just a little banter back and forth between Momo and and Azan. That's my first little gripe. Also, Tsukasa showing off. Listen, his long grater again. That was never shown in the that was anime only. He never showed off his grater. I can show you right here when he says right here, "Come to me." This panel right here on the very next page, guys, and I'm flipping the very next page. You get the reference of it, a slave to the ingredients. You guys know it. You see, there was never any type of mention of Tsukasa's long greater. And then it goes right to this, the very next page. Also, funny little tidbit right here, if you look very closely, is Luffy's hat, because Shokugeki no Soma was showing its honor to One Piece for their anniversary when this chapter originally came out. So if you look real closely, that's Luffy's straw hat right there. You know, just a little tidbit there. I know they wouldn't be in the anime as well. Now, another thing that was anime only was that little scene where we had Mimisaka and he had on Kuga's wig. You know, he took it off and placed it. That was anime only. When we saw him take off the actual wig, that was anime only. Now, one thing that I do say that the anime handled really well was this scene right here when Mimisaka tossed Kuga the liquid. That scene was handled very, very well in the anime. You know, even more so, I would say, even handled better in the than the manga did. The anime really did that scene justice. I really enjoyed that scene as well. You know, just the overall look of Mimisaka. Just he's that dude, man. I always love Mimisaka. He is definitely that guy. Okay. Now then, we have to talk about Anne's foodgasm as well, because in the in the anime, Anne had a foodgasm like this. Boom. That was it. That was it. So what the anime did, they amped it up times 10, because if, as you guys see, it was just this one right here. It wasn't like all the floating and the wind blowing. It was just that one right there. Okay? And then if you go to the very next page, you know, they talk more so on the cooking and what Mimisaka did to prepare his dish. You know, and Hisako was talking as well, you know. And I believe they gave that part when Hisako was talking to Megumi, because Megumi said a lot of stuff in this chapter, in this episode, that she didn't even say in the manga as well. Now, this scene actually did happen. You know, I Can Never Be a Bride, but that was about it. Everything between that, the extra stuff that they were showing, never happened. It never happened in the manga, and I'm not really complaining because I really did enjoy it. You know what? That'll do it, guys. Basically, besides that, anime was spot on. It was really good handled. Again, I want to show you something else from this volume, but because of how I see how they're doing, I can't really show you, because it would be a slight spoiler, because now I know for a fact that they just want to focus more so on Mimisaka's side and not so much on Tsukasa's side. But I will say one thing though. This scene right here, when Charm and Hysteria and everybody else, and they were eating the food right here, again, great scene as well. Great scene. And if you guys want to read it, like I said, for yourself, it's in volumes 26 and the very beginning of 27. And that'll do it, guys. Thank you so much. That's been my review for this week. Overall, I did enjoy the anime. They simplified a lot of things. And if you want to hear me talk more so about this in detail from the perspective of a manga reader, go back and check out my reviews. I've reviewed every manga chapter of Shokugeki no Soma from chapter 83 and up. I didn't miss one. So go ahead and check out my chapter 223 review, 224, 25, 26, and so forth and so on. And you can hear me go even in further detail on the chapters. But hey, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you guys next week for another review of the greatness, also known as Shokugeki no Soma. But since this is anime, we're going to call it by its anime name, which is Food Wars. And also, man, look at these covers, man. Some dope covers as well. Hey, that'll do it. Thank you so much. Sayonara, suckers.